So the first part, the A section is much easier. We need something darker than that. How about that one?
That's pretty.
The first section is actually kind of easy. The last section is pretty hard. Okay. So they wrote it like this. I prefer it to be written as a division bar, but this is the same thing. Okay, if you are dividing by one term, it's not very hard. Does anybody think they know how you would divide on this one? Basically, it's distributive property with division. It's distributive property with division. So each term in the numerator needs to be divided by, put that away. Each term in the numerator needs to be divided by the one term in the denominator. Okay, it gets more complicated when you divide by more than one term. So dividing by x, or like x plus 7, this is totally different. Because everything needs to be divided by everything, so that makes it complicated. But if there is only one term, no problem. So it's just like the distributive property with division. Like everything just gets divided by x. So what's x? Where do we stop at? I'll just open this up to the crowd. What's x cubed divided by x? X squared. So remember, when it comes to division, you just subtract the exponents, right? So x3 divided by x is x to the 2, x squared. Plus x squared divided by x, x. This is number 1, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really good. Okay, this is where people usually get it wrong. X divided by x. Or 2, I mean, that's what I meant. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do 2.
Just keep doing it.
Were you 2?
Okay, x divided by x. We'll make you guys go back to 1. X divided by x is 1. You could say it's x to the 0, but that would equal 1. So people get it wrong because they often put nothing. So anything divided by itself is equal to 1, not 0, not nothing. Alright, yeah, I don't know why I did 2. I screwed up. Number 3. I'm going to keep writing it in division bar form. Let's see. Where did we stop? I think Bo actually was where we stopped. So, Jonathan, what would this one become?
4x to the second minus 1.
Right. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And then x3 divided by x, or x to the 1. You subtract the exponents. 2x divided by 2x is 1. Okay, number 5. 3x squared. All right, Sophia. Yep. Yeah, 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1x squared is just x squared. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Number 7. And if I remember correctly, this chapter is really short. It only has like 2 or 6 lessons, I think, which means our test will be pretty quick. I think it's a week from today, if I remember right. But it's not too far away. That's an important thing. Okay, Wyatt.
The 7 could cancel out.
Sevens cancel out.
Then you have a squared times b.
But you have to divide by AB.
Divide.
So what's 7 divided by 7 is 1. What's a squared divided by a?
A squared.
Yes.
A.
So yeah, there will be an a remaining. B divided by b.
B.
No. B divided by b is 1. It cancels out basically. So b divided by b is 1, 7 divided by 7 is 1, but 1 times a is just a. So the 1's just kind of disappear. So the b's will cancel out and the 7's will cancel out. But there is one a. Got it? Okay. And then there's a minus. Then what?
C. Would the a's cancel out?
Yep.
And then it would just be b.
Yep. Okay, number 9. Ooh, this is a big one. 24 a squared b. Guess I don't really need to print seats since I'm writing it with the division board. Okay, Hank,
Yeah,
first term.
could be 8. Then it'd be a squared. And then it'd be, the b would cancel out, so it'd be -4. Then it would be a, and then the b would cancel out again, but it'd be +3. And then it'd be b. Yeah.
Anybody have any questions right now? Is that making sense? Okay. You can ask later if you want to. Number 11. Okay, this one has a wrinkle on it that we haven't seen yet. So, Jackson, do you see what the issue is here? Right, it's a fraction. Wouldn't hurt my feelings if you turned it into a decimal, but I'm gonna do what the book did and leave it as fraction. Normally when we're solving equations like 2x equals 15, how do we usually write the answer to that? We just put 15 over 2, right? And that's what we're gonna do here. So we'll just leave it as an improper fraction. So 15 divided by -2 does not divide well, so we can just leave it as, yeah, but since one of them is negative, it should be negative, yeah. And then x to the what? X squared. Okay, that's the first term. The middle term? Yep. So he just said 3 over 2. Negative divided by negative is positive, so I made it a plus. And then x2 divided by x is x. Yep. And the x's cancel out there. Alright, so a little bit messy. 13. Yeah, number 16 and 12, I guess, is like number 11. Kind of messy. Okay. Don't forget to, by the way, don't forget to go back and do number 1. All right, Avery, what will this become?
3 into the second plus 5 in. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, n squared divided by n squared
Oh,
is 1. Or if you think of it as 2 minus 2, that would be n to the 0. But anything to the 0 is 1. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people get that part wrong. Yeah, so all she did really was the n's went down by 2 on every term. So this became n squared, this became n to the 1, this became n to the 0, which is just a normal 1. Alright, 15. Kind of a messy one again, I guess. Alright. Manny.
So, the first part would be 3x cubed.
Well, not quite, not quite. So, this is not 3 divided by 1, which would be 3. It's more like 1 divided by 3.
Oh, so 1/3 x cubed.
Yeah. By the way, sometimes it's written like this. I think the book did write it like this. But remember, x cubed is like x cubed over 1. So if we multiplied them together as 1, where would the x cubed go? On top. So this could also be written as x cubed over 3. Okay? It's kind of an important note. Okay, keep going, Manny.
So, then it would it be 3x squared?
Yes. 9 divided by 3 is 3. X3 divided by x, x2. Okay?
And then it'd be -2, just -2.
5 over 3?
Oh wait, no, -5.
Yeah, it doesn't really divide. If it was a 6 over 3, that would have been the 2. Yeah, so, yeah, on the exponents we're subtracting, but on the normal numbers we're doing normal division. So anyways, yeah, the x's go away there. So that's about as good as it gets. Okay, the hard part. I recommend you take very good notes on the odds. Number 17. So what is different about 17? Why is this harder?
There's multiple terms.
There's 2 terms in the divisor. So on 17, we're not just dividing by x, or like 3x. We're dividing by x plus 3. That's 2 different things.
Is it the same thing as the multiplication? Or we do two
No, this is
terms?
kind of new. Well, actually, before we do it, so I'm using long division. This is called polynomial long division. So this is kind of new for you guys. Okay, before we do polynomial long division, let's go back in time and do, well, let me do this. Normal long division. You guys remember how this works? Okay, you can say like, what's 24 divided by 5? Or how many times is 5 going to 24? 4. And you put that over here above the 4 and 24. And then you do 4 times 5 is what? 20. We put it down here, and then what do we do? Subtract. 24 minus 20 is 4. The 3 comes down. Then what do we do? Start over. What's 43 divided by 5, or how many times is 5 going to 43? 8. 8. Then we do 8 times 5 is 40. Okay, now there's like 3 different ways you guys learn to handle the remainder. Probably like in 3rd or 4th, I don't know what grade we start dividing, but you put like a remainder 3, right? And then when you got older, maybe 5th or 6th grade, what's the fraction form? You put your remainder 3 over your divisor 5. That's kind of what we're going to be using today. Does anybody know the 3rd way? Yeah.
Bring it zero down.
Yeah, you can 243 is like 243.0, and you could bring a 0 down and keep going. Okay, but we are going to be using the fraction form. It's not that hard. So if you get a remainder, let's see, make sure these do have remainders. The last 4 have remainders. Yeah. So you just put your remainder over your divisor. The leftovers go. Okay, here we go. So we're just kind of focusing on the left side right now. You do what's x squared divided by x. I think it's easier to think of it like x times what equals x squared. Or, well, okay, maybe the other way. What's x squared divided by x? X. Okay, you put that up there. Doesn't really matter. In this case, it doesn't really matter. Like, you don't have to line stuff up as much as we did over here. You just have to put it up there somewhere. Okay, after we got the 4 up here, what did we do with it? We did 4 times 5 and put it down here. So what are we going to do here? We're going to do x times x plus 3. The whole thing. We're going to put it down here and subtract it. So it's kind of like x times x plus 3. That's what we're doing right now. X times x plus 3. So what is x times x plus 3? X squared plus 3x. Okay, after we multiplied, what did we do? Subtracted. Okay, how do I subtract this? Well, it's kind of like that. How do I subtract this?
You gotta, distribute.
It's kind of like distribute. They both will become a minus. Now, if it had been x squared minus 3x and I was subtracting, the first one would become a minus, the second one would actually become a plus. But in this case, they both become a minus, so that plus kind of goes away. Okay, what is going to happen to my x squareds? Okay, that's going to happen every time, by the way, if you did it right. So those go away. X squared minus x squared is 0. But over here I have x minus 3x, which is negative 2x. Then what do you think is going to happen?
Repeat.
Right, what happened after I subtracted here? I brought the next thing down. So what I'm bringing down is a minus 6. Then what happened after we brought it down? We divided again. We started over. 43 divided by 5. So now we're doing this divided by this. But really you just focus on the front part. What's negative 2x divided by x? Negative 2. Negative 2x, just look at the front part. Divided by x is negative 2. Okay, after I put a number up there, what did we do? Multiplied. Put it down here and subtracted. So what's negative 2 times x plus 3?
Negative 2x
Negative 2x minus 6. But we are subtracting the bottom line, remember? So if I'm subtracting a minus, what happens? They become pluses. So you just got to switch those signs every time. Negative 2x plus 2x gone. Negative 6 plus 6, gone. So that means there's nothing left to bring down. This means there's no remainder. No remainder. So the answer is x minus 2.
Is there an easier way to find this?
Kind of, but it's an algebra 2 trick. So it looks like the first 4 have no remainders. So if you do it right, 17, 18, 19, 20, no remainders. And then 21 through 24 do have remainders. So they start off a little bit easier. Okay, let's try 19. So the thing that's being divided goes in the box. 3x squared minus 26x minus 9. Called the dividend. I'm not going to make you remember that, but and then the thing that it's being divided by is called the divisor. And then the answer is the quotient. So anyway, that first thing actually goes in the box. Remember when you do the division box, it actually kind of writes backwards. Like 5 divided by 3 is 5 divided by 3. Looks like that. Anyways, so. Let's try. Anybody want to try this one? Or? Alright, Jesse.
So first, 3x squared divided by x
Yep.
is 3x.
Okay, losing x.
And so you multiply 3x by that whole term.
Yeah. So it's distribute, right? That's basically what's happening. Okay.
So you get 3x squared plus 27x because
Starts off as minus 27x. Okay.
subtracted will become a plus.
Right. Because we're subtracting the bottom line, that will become a plus. And that becomes a minus. 3x squared is going to go away. The first term always cancels out. We kind of make that happen. And then what's negative 26x plus 27x?
X.
Then
Drop it, not negative 9.
drop the minus 9. Then
You divide again. So
divide again. X divided by x.
1. And then also that whole term times 1 is the same thing.
Right. 1 times x minus 9. That's kind of an easy one. It's x minus 9. What happens when I do x minus 9 minus x minus 9? Those switch, so they all just cancel out. Remember I said the first 4 are like no remainders, right? So, no remainder, and that's my answer. All right, 21. A squared plus 4a plus 12. So yeah, I did not want to do this one on Wednesday. I want to do this one on a not short day. All right, somebody else want to try this one? Don't write that very pretty.
I'll try it to see if I do something wrong.
All right. Let me switch to red or something. All right, go ahead.
Sometimes you divide that stuff right.
Yeah. You know,
Neighbor 1.
right. A squared divided by a is
Neighbor 1.
a.
A and then
And we do a times a minus 6.
2a, or a squared, plus negative 6a.
Minus 6a. Then subtract.
So that would cancel out, and that would be 10A. And then you bring 12 down plus 12. Then you do the same thing again.
Start over. 10A divided by A.
9A.
No. That would be subtract. That would be if we were subtracting division.
Say 10A. 10.
10.
10. And then what, you do 10.
10 times A minus 6.
Negative 60. 10 times negative 6.
Okay, 10 times A. So it's like this. 10 times A minus 6. So 10 times A,
10A.
10A.
And then minus 60.
10 times minus 6, yep, minus 60. We're almost done. There's nothing left to bring down,
And then
right?
you have to change the thing so they would cancel out.
So it becomes a minus and a plus.
So it'll be 72 and that'll cancel out.
Okay, there's nothing to bring down. So 72 is the leftovers, the remainder. So what am I going to do? So just like we did that was a long time ago. Remainder over the divisor, that's what we're going to do here. We're going to put the remainder of 72 over the divisor A minus 6. All right. Uno más 12, 24 squared. Okay. Hannah, I think I'm gonna make you do this one.
Sorry, Hannah. That's okay, you got this?
All right. Do you know where we're starting?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. 24x squared divided by x, and she said it's just 24x.
And then you multiply that by x equals 1.
Okay.
It's 24x plus 24x.
Okay. 24x times x is 24x squared. Yeah, these two should always match. These probably won't. 24x times 1, you said that already, but it's 24x. And then, yeah, we're subtracting the bottom line, so that actually becomes a minus. Those go away. 13x minus 24x. Well, 24 minus 13 is 11. Therefore, 13 minus 24 is negative 11. Okay, go ahead. Now what?
And then you bring down the negative.
Yep.
And then start over.
Start over.
11 x divided by negative 11.
Yeah, negative 11 divided by x is
Is
negative 11. The x just kind of drops off when you divide by an x.
you multiply that times x plus 1.
Yep.
So you get negative 11 x multiplied minus 11.
Okay.
And then 11x cancels out.
Okay, we're subtracting the bottom line, so the minuses will become pluses. And those cancel out. Negative 9 plus 11. 2. There's nothing left to bring down, so 2 is our remainder. Sometimes they put a plus right here. I don't really care though. But the remainder is 2 over x plus 1. I think I was gonna say, but maybe I got sidetracked. I do think there are 2 of these on the test next week. That's what I was meaning to say, and then I forgot what I was gonna say. There are some of the, couple of the easier kinds too, but I think we put a couple of the harder ones on there.